All right, everybody, welcome in. Picking up a race from FRR tonight. This kind of just got sprung on us. That's why we're showing up a little late to it. But these guys are running at Martinsville tonight. It's their elimination race. If you guys are familiar with Ruthless, we got a couple drivers that run Ruthless that are in this league. A lot of good competition in this one. It looks like Ruthless Racing Zone Typical is out front right now, leading FRR early in stage 1. We're about 10 laps in or so. I'm going to try and, I think FRR's streaming, so I'm going to be trying to pick up FRR's stream. And then what's up with all the static? I'm not sure. Might be my mic or something. I'm trying to see. I don't see FRR streaming. So that's going to be tough. So he's definitely not live. So I know the first stage is I believe it's 64 laps. They're going to have one pit. These guys are probably going to be splitting it up pretty evenly throughout this stage. They're going to be pitting with about 30 to go or so. Trying to get I think Henson's trying to get up here in the booth. Like I said, I found out about this about 5 minutes ago, so I'm trying to get some things settled real quick before we get into really calling this race. Oh, what the hell is going on here? Thank you guys for everybody that's tuning in tonight. Little late night stream going on. Typical's out front right now at the moment. I got FRR following him up. We'll go through the field here a little bit. You got Showtime Flash. It's a teammate of FRR's. I think he's right there in third. You can see the two leaders. The 17's a lap down. We'll find out who the 17 is. You got Field in the 5, Shovelhead behind him in the 22. That's 4th and 5th right now. I believe this is True Death behind Shovel in 6th. And then who's the 34? Racer Rick is in this Love's Ford Mustang tonight. I believe that's 7th. Mach 1 is that 17 car that was showing a lap down. You got Pittman in the 11 running inside the top 10. KB Showtime, look for him to probably make his way through the field here. Hick Ross right behind him, and King G 931. I don't know if I've raced against him. Right now the battle is at the front. FRR and Typical matching each other's lap times at the moment. 10 cars staying just ahead for the time being. I know he was fighting a little tight condition. Earlier this week, I think he worked on his car a little bit. We ran a practice race against FRR. That's actually up on the YouTube too. I ran it live, and you know, they were both really fast. So we'll see how the stage plays out. There's going to be some pit stops here. There's some strategy with that. It seems like it's a little better to short pit at some of these short tracks with these next gens. So it's kind of going to be about who can get on the pit road first, I think. Favre's right on his tail, closed up the gap that he had given Typical over the last few laps. And you can see it looks like the 4 car just rolls the center of the turn a little bit better right now. But Typical's no slouch around here. He's making up a lot of time, getting right around that bottom, hooking that car around the bottom of these turns. I think Favre's probably just chilling right now too. You know, they're both setting a really fast pace. They're really not racing anybody else at the moment. It's just them. They've got about a straightaway lead on, I think that's Flash in third still. So at the moment it's just between them. Looks like Favre's looking to the bottom here. He's got to run on Typical. Typical's going to give it up to him. Doesn't want to fight too hard right now, lose time to everybody else in the field. This is kind of opposite from what I saw in the practice race. It looked like Favre had, you know, the best short run car, and Typical was able to make up some ground on the long run. But that looks like that's kind of flipped, as Typical was able to stay out front for the short run, and then got passed right there by the 4. Again, I don't know. I don't have the lap count tonight. It's going to be a little difficult in that aspect. But these guys should be pitting right around halfway. That makes the most sense. Maybe go a little bit longer on this first set. Let's see here. We got Pittman. Nobody's really battling for positions here. Oh, here we go. We got a battle with Rick and King. King in the 41's got the high side. Rick's going to prevail, though, down there on the bottom. They're about to get lapped by Favre. And that just shows you the pace that this 4 car and this 10 car are setting right now. These guys are getting put a lap down before they even can get to the first pit stop. Typical struggling a little bit right there on corner exit at the moment. Long race tonight, though. They're both kind of filling each other out. Obviously, Typical probably loosened up his car a little bit too much. He's going to have to go back on that adjustment that he made. Because Favre's rolling right now, rolling away with this. Let me try and do this real quick. Okay, so Favre's put a good amount of time down to tie. Flash's car's falling off. A field filler in that practice, Field had one of the better long run cars. So as this run goes along, this 5 car is going to start making up positions. At least get the Flash here. Typical had to get enough long run car to stay ahead of him, but Flash was one of those drivers that needed to make changes for the long run. Trying to keep track of who's on the lead lap. So Mock was, we got pit stops. Looks like Shovel's going to get the pit road here. Shovel might be the first one. If I'm Typical, I'm pitting very soon. Looks like Hick Ross is a lap down. King is a lap down. Fields in third. Let's get back to 5. 5 is 4th. 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 Nobody's in front of Favre at the moment. Interested to see when these guys pit. We got, is that Ty coming down, or is that the lap car that was right there? Typical and Showtime hit pit road. KB. KB might have lost a lap to Favre there under that first run. We'll have to see where Typical is going to come out and how long Favre stays out here. Favre had about a second, so you know, with the fall off and stuff on tires, you can go about a lap or two longer. But here you go. He's got to make the move to come to pit road now that Typical went down. So point situation for the finale. I believe Favre is locked in already, and then Typical and KB are in on points. So as long as Typical and KB have good runs, I think they'll be all right. Awesome. Field Filler and True Death are fighting straight up to try to fill that last spot in the championship. So that's going to be a battle to watch on track. We're going to stick with Typical and see where Favre comes out relative to the 10 car. He's short pitted, so he should get a little bit of that time back, but Favre only stayed out about a lap longer, so I don't think he's going to pull all the way up to the 4 car. Oh, maybe he did. Favre is behind Ty. So, oh, he gets the wall too. I don't know what happened, if it was a pit entry or Typical at an amazing stop, but he's got about a second or so on Favre now. Even Field. Field must be getting lapped. Field Filler must have gotten a pit road penalty or something. Maybe not. Because I think Field was about past Flash. I don't know. Maybe I didn't see anything really wrong with Favre's entry. We were on his car when he went into the pits there. So I don't know. Maybe just a little bit slower entry, taking it easy. Typical pitted early. Maybe got in there a little bit better than the 4 car, and he's going to take over the lead. It looks like Field's right here in 3rd. Flash and Field are fighting for 3rd. Get on that battle. I think Field's going to let Flash go for now. Field probably thinks that, you know, my car's going to come to me later on in the run. No need to fight him right now. Shovelhead back on track. He was one of the first cars to pit road. Looks like he's right in front of True Death. On track. Where is he relative to everybody else? So that's the 4 cars up there. Trying to figure out if Shovel. So Pittman's a lap down. So everybody up to Pittman is a lap down now. So I mean, these guys are just putting on a blistering pace. Favre and Typical are just dominating the early part of this race. And I don't know what Typical did to his car on pit road, but man, that thing is a rocket ship. Favre's not really making up any ground right now. Don't know how many laps are left. If I knew, I would say. I don't have a live stream to watch. If anybody knows where there's a live stream to watch, maybe post it in the chat so I can get to it. Field filler streaming? Oh, no way. Field filler FRR, you'll see it. Alright. Give me 1 second right here. We're going through our sponsors. Alright, let's look them up. FRR. He is live. We got we only got a few laps left. Give me a minute here and I'll get a lap count. So that was him crossing the line right now. He's crossing the line right now on stream. Damn, it's so blurry. Might be 7 to go. Staying on Typical. Favre's made up a little bit of ground. We're under 10 laps to go. I can't really see the count. It's pretty blurry, but it's 5 to go. I believe that was 3 to go. We're gonna have 2 to go as I cross the line. Typical's looking to take home stage 1. 2 to go here. Here we go, final lap of stage 1, presented by SKU Car. Typical out front through 1 and 2. Favre was not able to put any pressure on the 10 car after the first round of pit stops in this stage. We're going to see what happens coming up in stage 2, but for now, this 10 car is going to take home the stage 1 victory. Favre's going to bring it home second. I believe Field Filler is in 4th right here as he comes to finish the stage. 3rd, I think we'll go to Showtime Flash. So So we'll see who all is a lap down. There was a lot of cars, probably on different strategies and stuff. I didn't get the right people. So everybody so the top 5 are on the lead lap. You got Typical, Favre, Flash, Field, and Shovelhead. And then Pittman, True Death, Rick, KB, Showtime, Hick Ross, and I think it's King and Mach 1. They're all a lap down. So this is going to give Pittman the free pass. And this is a big win for Field Filler, who's trying to get into the championship race. He's got, he'll have now a lap on True Death. True Death is going to get stuck a lap down there. So True's going to have to find some way to get back on the lead lap and keep from going a second lap down in this stage, as this stage is the same length as the first one. But here we go, back up front. Start stage 2, Typical back to the point. Favre right behind him. It's going to be these two all night long. And unless we have something crazy happen at the front. We got a long stage here, 61. It's a little bit shorter than the first one. Still a long stage, stage 2. We're going to ride along with Favre as he tries to work on this 10 car for the lead. He's going to make a move to the bottom. Into 1. Typical's going to give him the bottom. Typical's trying to hang on the outside. It's a tough ask for him to hang against a car as good as Favre on the outside. Looks like Favre's going to be able to clear here off the 4, and the 4 car is going to go to the point. A little bumper by the 10. Gets back to the bottom, crosses him over, doesn't have a good enough run off the exit of 2. Down to 3, Favre washes up a little bit. Typical doesn't have a run on him there either, though. Riding along with Flash in 3rd off the nose of the 24 car. Flash is doing a good job keeping up with the tandem Typical early on in the stage. This 24 car can figure out a little something for his car on the long run. Like if he can make a good adjustment, he could be a factor in this race too. He's got a lot of speed. You can see that he can keep up here on these short runs. It's just he falls off so much later in the run. It won't be a huge factor in this stage, as they only have to go about 30 laps on both sets of tires. But the last stage, you got to do 3 runs of 40 laps each if there's no cautions. So definitely going to need a longer run car for this last stage. But right now he's doing a really good job keeping pace with the top 2. Typical got the apron right there a little bit. Got the curb. Lost about a 10th or 2 to Favre. Overshot that one. Flash is right on his tail. Gonna have a run to the inside, looking low. Can the 24 complete the pass into 3? Typical gives him room. He's gonna slide behind him. Is Flash gonna clear him up? 24 to 2nd. Right behind these guys, you got Shovelhead. This is Field Filler, but Shovelhead in the 22 was able to get around the 5 car. Looks like, I don't know where he's qualified. I think he might have qualified at the back because he was running a little deeper in the field, but he was able to stay on the lead lap. So I think that this 22 car's got probably pretty good pace, and we just haven't seen it out of him yet because he was starting at the back in stage 1. We got a battle for 2nd again. Oh, not much of a battle. I think Flash might have moved over for Ty. Typical. And Favre is checked out tonight. Made the pass on Typical right at the beginning of the stage and hasn't looked back. Typical, you know, lost a little bit of time fighting with Flash 9. enabling Favre to pull out to probably about a second or two lead. But we saw Favre have this much of a lead in stage one, and typical, you know, not only leapfrogged him on pit road, but put a big enough gap from himself back to Favre that Favre couldn't make it up at the end of stage one there. Typical goes ahead, comes around, wins the stage. So we'll see if this 10 car can make up a little bit of ground again. Be a little bit closer to this 4 car by the time pit stops come around. It could be interesting towards the end of this stage. We're going to look down the straightaway here and see if Favre's going to be catching any lap traffic anytime soon. Looks like he's got 1 car up in front of him, about a straightaway ahead. It'll probably take Favre about 10 laps or so to get to the back of the field. So clean track at the moment. Clean track and clean air for this 4 car. As far as strategy goes for this stage, they're probably going to be splitting it up. These cars get about 48 laps of fuel to a tank. It's not advantageous to run that long on tires. You get pretty slow as the long run goes along. And you know, this track does get pretty slippery later in the runs. That concrete in the turns rubbers up, and you don't have a lot of traction on exit as your tires wear out. So we'll see these guys probably split this stage, like I was saying, about 30 laps, 32 laps on the first run, and then whatever's left to the end of the stage. 61 laps, you got to pit once. The real test for the long run will be in stage 3, where they have to do 3 runs of 40 laps apiece. We're going to go ahead and go through the field. You got Fields running 5th, and it looks like the top 5 is pretty much checked out, but we have a second group of cars here, starting with the 34 of Racer Rick, all grouped up together. That's Mach 1 behind him. Right along with the 17, KB Showtime right behind him. Pittman, who just got his lap back, right behind the 38. These cars are all a lap down besides Pittman. The 34, the 17, 38, 18, 41, they're all a lap down. I think Mach might be 2 laps down, who we're riding along with. Typical's gained a little bit of time, I think. And Favre's about to come up on lap traffic. We're going to do a Ruthless Racing, crank it up. Grab a hold of that dial. Oh, we got True Death in the wall. Major damage for the 3 car. He's going to have to go straight to pit road. I don't know what happened. It looked like he just went straight to the wall. He's loose. Coming into the pits, and his hopes at making the championship 4 are now fading and probably gone. That's unfortunate for the 3. Well, we'll wait on the crank it up, because Typical has made up a ton of ground to the 4. Whatever happened with the 4 and the 3, you know, I mean, the 3 car just hit the wall in front of Favre, but I don't know if Favre checked up or something to not run into him. Because, I mean, Typical closed up a ton of time within those couple laps. I don't think Favre's car has gone away from them that much. They're not really that far into the run. They're on lap 30. coming to lap 30 here. Yeah, that was a strange out of the 3 car there. Strange incident. It was almost like he blew a tire and went straight to the wall. If I'm typical, man, I'm right here behind Favre. I see these lap cars. I'm getting to pit road on this lap. There's no reason to sit here and try and fight him and lose time to him. These guys are right here in the way. I'm coming to pit road right now. He's going to keep running, but if he can keep pace with the 4, it's fine. He's, but he proved that in the first stage you could go around him, or you could short pit and be able to make it work. And he's really diving into these turns. Not yet, not going to pit yet. Does Favre make the move to pit road? You see, either of these guys, man, I'm making the move right now to go to pit road. There's no point to wait. This second run isn't going to be that long unless they're trying to get to a specific fuel number. But we got a ton of cars on pit road. We got Flash, we got Shovel. Field Filler's already in a stall getting serviced. True Death is out of the race. Thank you, Pittman, for that update. Did these guys go ahead and take... No, they haven't pit yet. Alright, Favre and Typical still on track. This is lap 35. Typical straight to pit road. Did a good job getting on. I think he made it in there. Let's click over to Favre. Let's see if he's going to follow the 10 car to pit road on this lap. I don't think he can afford to stay out too much longer. And you can see him hitting pit road. I think he did a better job getting on that time. Thank you to all the viewers that are tuning in tonight. We picked up a race for FRR. Their broadcaster couldn't make it. This is their round of 8 elimination race at Martinsville. They're a week behind. They run the the NASCAR Cup Series schedule. These guys are 35 races into this season. It's coming down to the wire, and next week is going to be their championship at Phoenix. So this is a big race for these guys. Wanted to make sure it was broadcasted. They had somewhere to watch it. Typical's out of his stall, back on track. Shovelhead made up a lot of time on him. It looks like Flash is maybe in front of Typical as well. Let's see where Favre's going to come out. Can Typical get in front of him? He's got momentum right now. I think 4 is going to stay up to the bottom. No, Typical is going to pass Favre, but I do not think that was for the lead. Showtime Flash up there in the 24, I think, is going to be your leader at the moment. You see him up there in front of the 11, in front of the 34, the 38, and the 18. These guys have a ton of lap traffic in front of them. They're going to have to navigate through as they fight for position at the moment. I think this is second. No, I'm wrong. Okay, so this is for the lead. So Showtime had Showtime, not Favre, Showtime Flash must have had a pit road penalty or something, because he's right at the tail end of this lead lap. He's gonna have to pick up his pace and make sure he doesn't go a lap down here. That's gonna throw a damper in his race. So this time Favre was able to maintain the lead through the pit cycle. I believe that in stage 1 he just kind of missed the entry to pit road, took it a little easier than Typical did. And you saw where, Typical was behind the 4 car, and when Favre came off the pit road, they were side by side. That's the difference that one lap of fresher tires makes. It's about a half a second or so every lap. You figure these guys at the fronts, they're running, you know, 18.8s, 18.9s. In long run, they're running 19.3s and 19.4s. So that's your 5/10 right there. Typical. Got on pit road first, and you know, that one extra lap that Favre ran, it hurt him for that lap, but now he's got a lap fresher tires, so I'd look for the 4 car to continue to drive away here. So it'll be interesting to see if he can get to Flash and put him a lap down, because you know, he can't really check up for Flash too much. He's got Typical behind him. He doesn't want to give Typical the lead and let Typical win this stage, but I know he's not trying to come up here and lap his teammate. So a lot going on for Favre right now. He's trying to manage his track position and manage his teammate. But at the end of the day, I think if he does get to the 24 and Typical's kind of running the 4 down, that I think Flash would move out of the way for Favre. I would love an update on points with the 3 car out of the race. What I was told, you know, I didn't have a lot of information going into this. But what I was told was that Typical and KB Showtime are probably good on points. And that Field Filler and True Death were fighting to get in. But I know they run the same, they run the Cup schedule. I don't know if they do the Cup points, because I believe Typical won last week, and I don't know if you know, if you win a race in the round, win a race in the playoff round, if you move on, or if you're not automatically locked in and it's points. I don't know exactly all that. Field Filler is 28 points out of the top 4. So who's the so is it so it's got to be Favre, Ty, Flash, and KB, or am I wrong in that assumption? Send me an invite to party chat. Alright. I got you. 1 second here. Let me get back on the leader. Oh, I gotta get back in the booth myself. 1 second. I backed out of this party. My bad. Alright, we got True in the booth. He's going to go ahead and go through, you know, kind of the points and how it's going to shake out here within this last stage and the end of the race.
Give me a second, let me pull it up.
Yeah,
sure.
No, you're good. These guys are, you know, this is the elimination race right here to get into the championship race next week at Phoenix. And, you know, like I was bringing up a second ago, Favre's really not trying to lap Flash, but Typical's catching him. and is going to be putting pressure on both these guys. So I don't know how long Favre can.
I can promise you this: if Favre has a chance to lap Flash, he's going to lap him.
Well, he's trying right now, but I think he's doing a really good job trying to manage this gap to Flash, and between Flash and Typical, because you know Favre ran Flash down by a whole straightaway right now and isn't really making a move to go around him.
If he gets a chance, he's going to lap him. He's never lapped Flash, that's why I say
well,
he's going to lap him.
There it is. It just happened.
Yep. All right. The points lead. Let's see what's last. Okay. Favre had a 1 point lead over Flash coming into the next race, and then Showtime KB was 21 points behind Flash, and then Typical was 6 points behind Showtime. Now Field Filler was
let me I believe this is the last lap of the stage here. We'll go through that at stage break. I think Favre yep, that was the last lap right there. So Favre's gonna go ahead and take stage 2. Typical won stage 1. Who was the pole tonight?
The pole was Typical.
Okay, Typical gets the pole as well.
But can you get a rundown of where KB and Field Filler finished?
Yeah, let me get Field Filler brought it home 3rd there.
Okay.
KB is 8th, and I think KB's also a lap down, at least 1 lap down.
So Field Filler was 18 points behind Showtime. Well, we know Typical. He's been running up front. He's going to be part of the 4 because he was in 4th place at the moment.
Okay.
But now he's done past Showtime by the end of the 2nd stage. What it's between is Showtime, KB, and Field Filler.
Okay, so Field would have picked 18. Up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Picked up 5 points there.
And I think another 5.
Stage 1. Hold on.
In stage 1, I think.
I'll find out right now. Looks like he got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, he did. So he got 10 points.
So he's 8 points behind.
8 points behind. He needs to finish 8 spots ahead of KB. At the beginning of the stage, we got tied. Actually, Field Filler moving up to 3rd right there. Got a good pit stop out of his crew. Looks like Showtime's in 8th at the moment. So for Field to get in,
yeah,
I think he would have to win this.
I don't think there's enough cars on track for him to pull it off.
Yeah, well, because you get how do you guys do it? It's like 40 to 1st and then 35 to 2nd?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so if you finish 1st, you know, that's at 5, and then 7 points. Otherwise, that'd be 12. So that's his only route into the final 4 at the moment. Well, unless KB loses a few spots, but I believe that there's only... KB can only lose 1 more spot to Rick.
Okay, so there's 11 cars on the track. So Rick's 11th and KB's 10th.
No, I believe that there's a couple cars more. So it's.
So actually, KB could make it. I mean, Field Filler could pass him if he finishes 3rd and KB finishes 11th. It'd be 8 points right there, and the tiebreaker would go to Field Filler with more wins.
Yeah, correct. The only problem with that is that so King is 3 laps down. KB's only 2 laps down, so he's got a whole lap on 10th place, and then I believe that Mach 1 is 4 laps down. So, you know, it would take a lot for him to fall out of the top 4. But there is a route for Field Filler to do it. Honestly, if he goes up here and wins this thing, I mean, he's kind of got it.
He does have a long run car.
That's his one path into the final 4 tonight, is to go out here and win this race. So, you know, his destiny to get into this championship is in his own hands. Field Filler's a good driver. He can get it done in the right situation. Maybe we get a late race caution or something.
That's what's going to hurt him. He don't have a short run car. He has an extremely long run car.
Yeah, I saw that in practice too, but I know Field can figure out how to loosen that car up.
Yeah, I don't want to say it on. I know what Favre's driving.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
I built it. So, you know, just You know, that car is it's the fastest car I've ever built, and by far I just couldn't handle it late running like he can.
Yeah.
So,
Nah, he can drive it. I mean, I thought I had a pretty good car here, and then, you know, could hold the long run pretty well, and then, you know, you see him 2/10 faster than you are, and same pace as you on the long run. It's pretty
firing
crazy.
Off at 18 8s and 7s, full
Yeah.
fuel, firing off. That's insane, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy. These cars are a lot of fun to drive here. I feel like they do have more grip than the old cars, but they still get loose.
They got. It seems like they got a lot more forward bite.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like coming from Heat 4 to Heat 5. You know, when we got to Heat 5, it seemed like the cars had more forward bite, and then now these cars even got way more than the original.
Yeah, I feel like now that you know, these cars have been out for a couple months, the fast guys are starting to figure some stuff out again, and run times that are competitive to the 2020 cars are even faster.
Exactly.
Which is kind of
crazy. I made
crazy.
strides with these cars. You know, beginning of the season, after Daytona 500, I was 29th in points, second to last, and I came all the way up to fourth at one point in time. But and these new cars had a lot to do with it also.
Yeah.
Because they're harder. It seems like they're harder to break loose.
Yeah, they got a lot more grip in the corners than the old cars. A lot more corner speed than the 2020 cars, and the horsepower's not there. But
how big of a gap does Favre have on typical?
Favre's got about a second or two. Do you have an invite to the race to where you can watch?
Yeah, I'm watching the stream, but no, I don't have an invite to the actual.
I have.
Race.
I can get you one.
Stream. Okay. Yes. Get me one.
I'll back out real quick. Hold on, guys. Let's get True Death an invite to the race. He sent me like 10 or so invites.
Okay. Yeah, I see the gap on your stream now. Oh hell, did Favre? Oh, okay, that was you backing up. Well,
yeah, that was just me backing out.
Just pop up in pit road. I was like, oh lord.
Let's see here. I'll send you a few just in case something happens with my stream.
All right.
Wait. Yeah, we saw that. You get the wall right there, and then kind of go and park it. Were you in a situation where you could make the 4, or was it?
No, I was too far.
Kind of a long shot, yeah.
Yeah, I was way too far.
Typical kind of gave me a rundown and just said that you and Field were trying to get in, and that KB and himself were pretty good on points.
It ain't giving me the option to watch live.
When you join the lobby, really?
Yeah, I'm in the lobby now, and it don't say watch live or nothing. It just says invite back, and you don't, and nobody in the lap said it's blank.
I did send you another one. You should have gotten 2. So. Favre's still out front. His lead is growing at the moment.
He's got a super fast car.
Yeah. So checking on Field, looks like he's lost a spot to Flash. So that would be it'd be 9 right there when he lost that spot. And I think KB has gained a spot. So Field's gonna have to win this race if he wants to make it in the Final 4. So it's his only path.
Now, could be. Max when retired.
Thank you to everybody that's tuning in. These guys are putting on a hell of a show. Picked this broadcast up kind of out of nowhere, but I'm glad we did. Got to get the eyeballs on these guys, and they're, you know, battle to get into this championship race next week at Phoenix.
Yeah, thank you for picking it up on short notice also.
Yeah, no, it's no problem. I was just about to start running laps, and, you know, typical just asked, and it's still early for me, man. It's like 7 o'clock over here in Cali, so.
Oh, okay. What part of Cali you in?
Central Coast.
You near Prisma?
Yeah, just closer to the coast. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if you remember Tron. Left turn broadcasting.
Yeah, I've
He's
seen
from
his setups and stuff. I've used some of his stuff.
Yeah, he's from Pismo Beach.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've been there. I've been there a few times. It's cool down there. They got a bunch of sand dunes and stuff.
Okay.
A lot of off-roading going on down there.
Yep. He's got the boat and he's got the HUVs and all that to do all that crap. But them setups he's got on left turn probably fit good in these 22 cars.
Yeah, I've tried a few of them out. Richmond was one that I used a lot of out of his YouTube account. I still use a variation of that Pocono that they have on there. But you gotta update them, make some adjustments and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, as loose as they are, because they're hot lap cars for one. So I figured, with these new cars, they probably fit in, well with them.
Right.
But yeah, they're doing a good job. Let's see.
Favre's still out front, about 3 second lead on Ty, or typical.
So
Favre's putting on a clinic at the moment, leading a lot of laps tonight.
So we got 3 cars out of the race. So that means that we got 9 cars on track. Yeah, Phil, KB's got it wrapped.
Mock's out of the race. So is Hick. King was a lap behind KB. True Death is calling it. So what's our final
KB.
4 going to be? Typical Favre,
Flash, and KB, and typical obviously.
So we got Showtime boys and typical.
Yep. And then KB, Showtime, Flash, and Showtime, and Favre, Showtime, and just all by themselves. Typical. And it's gonna be hard to beat Flash or Favre at Phoenix, and I know Typical's good there, but that's one of Flash's best tracks. Even though Favre got him last year there.
Yeah.
But Flash, he's gonna put his time in and make up for what lost it for him last year. So it's gonna be probably the best race of the season to watch between them 4.
So are they the past 2 champions? Or was it Favre and then Flash before that?
Yeah, Flash. Favre just won his first championship last year. He won the previous 3 regular season championships.
Okay.
Overall championship. Flash won 2 in a row, I believe it was. Before he took it from Scotty B. Scotty B won 3 in a row. Then Flash won 2 in a row. Then Favre won. And it's going to be interesting to see who wins it this year, really. Because Typical just came in. This is considered Typical's rookie season because he only raced
right.
Not even 10 races last year. He's out of the 36. So, to come in here as his rookie season and do what he's doing is, amazing, And I just want to put all these people that's been claiming Typical's cheating and stuff like that. No, Typical is far from cheating. And I have a method of finding out if people cheat, and he passed. I watched him race. So I'll just put it like that on video, so I know Typical is not cheating. And I know he's been catching a lot of crap about him cheating. So that's why I'm saying it again. Also, that he is not cheating. He is on the wheel and he is racing as hard as he can, just like Favre is. If people seen how they work the wheel, man, it'd blow you away. And, they are seesawing the heck out of that wheel just to keep it, in a straight line. So everybody can lay that stuff to rest about Typical. So,
yeah, I mean these guys are 2 of the best on the game at the moment. There's a lot of people that would call them 1 and 2, and
yeah, I would definitely call them. Yes, it's a bro Chase. He'd be, he's in the mix, but with a close third. But Favre and Typical right now is just, they on another level.
Yeah, I mean, we've heard rumblings and stuff, Typical and all that, but I mean, I've just been around him enough working on setups and stuff that I just know that he just is better than I am, and you can see it just with the lap times and consistency, and that's all it is on this game. It's been out a while. These guys have spent a lot of time running all these races. Typical's got a lot of experience running in leagues and at every single track, and Favre as well. And you can see it paying off on the track. Like, these two guys are just, casually pulling away from everybody. And right now, Favre's kind of putting the beating down on Typical in this stage, but
it's a talent, man. They have, and Favre really, with these new 22 cars, hasn't really put the time that he did the first few seasons that he was in on the 2020s. Because I drafted Favre into the FRR as RCR captain, and he didn't know how to build a setup, a custom setup. He was running sliders and stuff like that, and I took him and taught him how to build custom setups, which only took 6 to 8 weeks of the first season. But before he even learned how to build a custom setup, he done won like 3 or 4 races just working on the setups with me, in the off time. So all his time came in his early years. This season he hasn't had the time to put it in, but it just shows the talent he has. Just be able to drive simulation. I can imagine seeing him in a real car.
Here we go. He's making his first pit stop. Yep. Let's see if is Typical still out on track, or was he already on pit road? I think he pitted a lap earlier than Favre.
Yep,
I think that's all Ty's way to. That's his only way to kind of close that gap back up. Favre was really good on the short run, and I think that, well, not as much this run. Not as much this run, but before Typical was closing on the long run. So I think that him pitting early, getting these tires a lap before him.
Did Typical get a black flag, though? Is he still in the pit?
No, he just barely pulled in. He should be coming out. Yep.
Okay, now he's coming out now. All right. He's in there a while.
So we're going to stay riding along with Typical. Again, the final 4 is set. Typical is going to be in the final 4 along with Favre, Flash 9, and KB. Showtime teammates and Typical. Unless
something dramatic happens.
I still think Field can win and get it in on points. I still think that's a possibility.
It's a possibility. Unless KB lags out, finishes 9th or whatever, and it's a hell still. Field will have to win the race. So
I think that Typical had a 16.4 and Favre had a 15.8. Well, there's about another second right there. Typical might have had a little damage or something from the wall.
Yeah, Favre still came out in front of him, so.
Yeah, he pitted that 1 lap early, but 1 lap before Favre, but I think that pit stop kind of evened out that advantage that Typical would have had. I'm looking at lap 180 on Field Filler stream. Field's running 4th. He's making good time. Field's good at this track. He's just.
Yeah, he is very good.
He's just put himself in the box here with how these points have worked out. He's actually got KB in front of him, but they're on different laps.
Okay.
So we'll go ahead and get these guys some screen time here as they battle. Oh, Field sends it in, little bump. He said, "I need to go. I need to win this race, bud."
Which coming into the race, Field felt he was too far out also, even though, he knew he had pretty much had to win the race to get in.
Yeah.
But he like he said, he ain't gonna back down. He's gonna give it everything he's got.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see really anything happen to Field or in the first 2 stages. I think he kind of maxed out his finishing position in both of those stages, so it might sting a little bit because KB is not having the greatest race tonight. So there was a path there if he would have been able to get some more points in those stages.
If there was more cars on the track,
that's also true.
A chance.
Yeah, it's tough when there's only 10 cars on track, 12 cars on track to make up points. Yeah, I've seen that happen within Ruthless as well.
But I just had to retire my. I know me retiring my car hurt him also. But I'm not going to sit there and have a spin out in front of the leaders and big mayhem. I'm gonna race it out and see where it goes.
I also run a similar setup to what Typical has in his car, and he was just able to find more speed than I was with it, and run it a little bit looser and make it more time on the long run. Man, it is like you were saying, how they're sawing the wheel and stuff. These guys are truly drifting these cars. Some of these laps off of these turns late run, and they just have, you know, unparalleled car control. So Field's got Racer Rick in 34. Yeah, I think Racer's on newer tires though. Shovelhead, I'm pretty sure Shovelhead's in third. He's having a solid night tonight.
Really? Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, he's behind Field. So who's our third place driver?
Where's Flash at on the track? That's what.
I swear Flash got lapped. Maybe Flash.
He is behind Typical and Pittman. I don't know if he's lapped down or not, but that's.
That might have been at the end of that second stage. Flash might have taken no tires or something.
Well, if he got lapped, I'm pretty sure he was the first car lapped down. He probably got back on the lead lap.
Oh, okay, that's true. If he had a good enough car, he could have driven up through those guys, I guess. That's also a possibility. Hick Ross just said Flash is third.
Okay. Hick had a good car here. You know, long run, like me. Heard him. Me and him were side by side before I retired my car. But he came out in front of me, and you know, he had a decent car. Early run speed. Not like the top three, but he worked on it. You can tell he worked on it.
Yeah. I'm gonna get a lap count here. 58 to go. So 57, I think. The stream's a little behind. Favre's on the backstretch already.
So they should be. They got one more pit, and they'll probably be pitting another 10. Well, probably about another 12, 15 laps.
And then walk us through how this round went. With Homestead, you guys pushed it back a week or whatever, but you got that race in, and then what was the first race of this round?
Darlington. And that's what got Field behind. He had a bad race
okay.
at Darlington, and that's what really got him behind the gun. But we raced the first three races, and then two people got eliminated. Then we raced the second round, and another two people. No, there's three people that got eliminated. My bad. 3 people got eliminated first and second round. Third round here, only 2 gets eliminated, and then the final 4 go. So at the beginning, coming into the playoffs, I think I was 4th in points, and had a good Darlington run. Had a good first round run, I should say. And but Homestead is what really killed me last week's race. Really shot me, put me behind the gun. But yeah, Field Filler, he has clawed his way back into fighting for the top 4, because he was on, after the first round, he was the one looking to be eliminated. And he just stayed alive through each round, and this is where he's at now. If he would have had a bad Darlington, he would have been probably the final 4.
Was there like a wreck or something that took him out, or he just
yeah. Well, for one, I got him the first time, but that he made it back from that one, because he came in on the outside of me, and at Darlington, there's no room.
Right, it's a single lane track pretty much.
Exactly, and he had his nose up there, and when I was coming up the track, I seen him. I tried keeping it down from him, but it was enough to bump him, put him in the wall. But that really ain't what shot him though. I think he was in like 2 more wrecks that was people spinning out, hitting the apron, and him T-boning them. And which comes from not having a good qualifying run. Because if he would have had a good qualifying run that race, he would have started out front and been away from all that. So, but yeah, that's what Darlington is what cost Phil Taylor being in the Final Four. Because if I'm not mistaken, he's got 2 wins this season. He's been, been in the battle every week, pretty much, besides Darlington.
Right.
So he's been consistent
Oh.
every week.
Typical had a huge moment off of 4 there. Lost a lot of time to Favre. And then, yeah. And so last week at Homestead, we had a really close finish between Typical and Favre. It was nose to nose at the line.
Yeah.
And then who was the winner at Darlington?
Darlington, I think it was Scotty B at Darlington.
Scotty B took it home at Darlington. All right.
And,
Typical's on pit road. He's short pin Favre again. Let's see if the 4 car comes down this time.
I think Favre and Scotty B was battling at Darlington, and I think Typical lagged out. I think. And that's how I think I got 3rd or 4th. I think.
I'll give a little shout out to Scotty B real quick. I'm surprised he's not in this race tonight, but
I know.
Man, he's fast everywhere you go. Favre's on pit road. He took he swept us at Road America, man, in Ruthless, and I think he led every single lap. It was a no contest. But sometimes
he does not have no fall off.
I know. Sometimes, man, he's really good everywhere, but there's a few tracks that it's like he's unbeatable. Road America was one of them. It was crazy.
It's unreal, He hits the same. He gets faster as the laps goes by, and then you get at Road America. Most road courses, about the 7th lap is where you're going to hit your fastest lap, per se, for a lot of people. But him, there's no fall off to his cars, and I don't know how he does it.
Yeah, there's the really good road course guys. They can fire off. Like at Road America, the lap time's like a 1:59 or whatever. Like they're firing off 2s, where everybody else is firing off 2:01s. And then their car catches up long run, but they've already been running faster. Typical made up a lot of time on pit road.
Yes,
Short pitted Favre by 2 laps. I was surprised when Favre stayed out that extra lap.
So that was our last pit. So
that was our last pit. So we're this is it. They're fueled up. They got tires. They're good to go to the end.
All over his bumper.
If there's no cautions that come out, this is going to be the battle for the lead. They just lapped Shovelhead, I believe. Shovel. Oh, Field's got the little ticker up right now. So Shovel's right behind Field. Field's in 4th, got Favre in 3rd. Flash in 3rd. Favre is lapped all the way up to 4th at the moment.
KB just came in the pits.
42 to go, 41. It'll be 40 to go at the line, I'm pretty sure.
Just now who can keep the car the straightest and without losing too much grip. Typical's getting him on entrance.
He's getting him on entry. Typical's going to struggle to stay with him right here. But if you can stay on this bumper for about 20 laps, I think their cars are going to even out. He's going to have to drive the shit out of this 10 car to be able to do it. But this is the closest he's been in this stage.
Yeah, he catches them on entrance, but Favre's going out on exit.
These guys are 200 laps in. They're in their groove right now. Maybe getting a little worn out. A lot of braking at this track. Repetition, you kind of fall into a trance around this place. The red and white curb and doing the same thing over and over again. But man, these guys have been battling all night. Back and forth. Again, typical your pole sitter. Went ahead and won stage 1. Looked like Favre got on pit road a little slow. That's where Typical made up the time. Second stage, Favre was able to maintain on pit road. kind of pulled away from Typical in the second run of stage 2. Well, he went ahead and won that stage. And then so far in stage 3, it's been all Favre out front. Typical's been in the solid second, but this is now the closest he's been back to the bumper of the 4 car in stage 3. We've got about 30 laps to go.
I'm gonna jump out of here, so when they finish the race as an owner, I got to be in there to congratulate them before.
Okay.
I'll appreciate you the invite.
Yeah, no problem. And then I'll add them, and they can do their interviews and stuff here too.
I'll let them know.
Okay. Thank you, True Death. That was True Death, owner of FRR. Just got to go do owner things. We're going to finish up this race. Everybody that's tuned in tonight, thank you for showing up. These two have been putting on a hell of a battle out front. Kind of did a little recap right there a second ago. But this Mobil 1 Ford Mustang, it's been out front. Shout out to Harvick too, retired today. I'm sure everybody knows that's watching this. Blaney is your 2023 NASCAR Cup Series champion. Harvick brought it home top 10 in his final Phoenix race. I think they said that extended the top 10 streak to 21 straight races at Phoenix, which is absolutely insane. 21 straight races of being in contention for a win, and you know, not having any mechanical failures or anything happen during the race. That's crazy. So little shout out to Mr. Harvick for all he's done for NASCAR. Shout out Blaney too, man. He had a really good car all night. Ross kind of was holding him up. He was flipping off Ross and stuff yeah, on the in-car camera. It was kind of cool to see. Don't tell me what to do, Henson. Damn. Hold on here. I'm trying to get these. Let me see where Shovel's at. Kind of by himself here. Pittman's out here. Give him some screen time real quick. I believe that says 30 to go. So 29, 28 when they come around. 28 to go at the line. Still a little bit of a run here. Favre just has the car, man. He's just got the best car tonight. You guys want to ride along with 10? Let's see what line he's using. He's going to catch the field. Field filler's going a lap down. Favre is lapped up to 3rd place. Favre and Typical, I guess. Typical's right there with him. Typical right to the back bumper of the 5 car. Can he get around Field? Field's going to make the move low. It's a very veteran and professional move by Field. So there's only 3 cars on the lead lap right now. You got Favre, Typical, and Flash 9. Flash, I don't think is that in jeopardy of falling a lap down. You're going to stay with Typical, see if you can catch Favre. Thank you to everybody that's tuned in tonight. Real quick, that link I just posted, that's our Discord link. Our Discord's open to anybody that wants to join the Ruthless Racing community. It's just a community Discord. You know, it's not committing to our league or anything. We got a bunch of racing fans. We got about 100 members, 120 members. Not all of them race in our league. It's just kind of, you know, we have a lot of stuff in there. Everybody's pretty active, talk about racing and everything that's going on in the racing world. If you want to be a part of the Ruthless Racing discussion, go ahead and click that link and join. the Discord. If you guys are looking for home decor items, go to minapeach.com. Mina Peach is one of our sponsors, Annaltown 11. That's a name everybody kind of knows on this game. Hooked us up with this. Use code RR11 at checkout. You get 11% off your order. Any orders over $60 receive free shipping. If you guys are trying to go to a live event, a race, a concert, anything, go to SeatGeek.com. Use code SKUCAR at checkout for $20 off your first ticket purchase to any live event. That's code SKUCAR on SeatGeek. If you guys are looking for energy drinks, energy powders, anybody that's into working out, into the gym, go to rogueenergy.com. Use code ruthlessracing, capital R's, at checkout. That's 10% off that on that website. And then finally, we just welcomed on a new sponsor, Midwest Custom Graphics. They do custom NASCAR diecasts. If you look them up on IG, it's MCG Midwest Customs. They got a ton of NASCAR diecasts that were never produced by Lionel or the other diecast companies. He could pretty much make you anything you want. He's going to be doing the Ruthless Racing Pro Series championship car for our champion. It's going to be custom made. But let's get back into this race. Let's get a lap count. We're under 15 to go. Favre's in control of this race at the moment. And he's not slowing down. Typical's catching up though. I got you. I'm getting on tie. Typical's making up a little ground. There we go. 15 to go, 14 to go, 13 to go at the line. A little bit of lap traffic with Pittman in front of Favre. This is what I was saying, that, you know, Typical needed the short pit so he could break up the short run car that Favre had. He needed those fresher tires. He needed that 1 or 2 laps where Favre was stuck on track on older tires to make up some ground, and then to match his lap times till the long run. Because now you can see the 10 car is a little bit better than the 4, and he's now closed this gap back up to the leader. You know, I thought Favre was going to kind of pull away with this thing, but Typical's making a run at it. He's giving it all he's got. This would be a huge win if he would be able to come back and win this. He was very far behind. He needs to take it easy and kind of run this car and just take what this car will give him right now. I think he's a little faster. He's getting loose out of 2, out of 4. He's really driving it, man. You can see when he exits low, that's the car hooking a little bit, but that time it didn't. 10 to go, 9 at the line. If he can get close enough to make a move, I think he might try something. 34, Racer Rick gets out of the way for the leaders. 8 to go at the line. Typical and Favre all day have been 1 and 2. It's coming down to the last 7 laps, 8 laps. Seven to go for Martinsville. FRR Cup Series round of 8 elimination race. These guys are already locked in. Congratulations to Favre, Flash 9, and KB, all from the Showtime group. The 3 of them and Typical from Ruthless Racing will be fighting for a championship in FRR next week at Phoenix. But right now, Favre and Typical are fighting for the win at Martinsville. I think this is 5 to go. 6 to go, 5 to go, 4 to go at the line. Typical's lost a little bit of ground again. Looks like Favre kind of settled in. Got his car back underneath him. Maybe that's those extra 2 laps of fresher tires that he has. 3 to go here. Two to go this time around. Favre's coming out of 4. He's just got to make 2 clean laps. He's going to be your winner at Martinsville. Favre's put a lot of time into this car. I know he has. Dude's insanely fast here. And he's ran a hell of a race tonight. 1 to go. White flag presented by Skew Car for the FRR Cup Series at Martinsville. Favre comes through 1 and 2. No contact with the curb, no contact with the wall. Down to 3 and 4 for the final time. Typical started closing too little, too late. Showtime Favre is going to be your winner from Martinsville. Congratulations to Favre. Typical brings it home second. Showtime Flash, the last car on the lead lap, in 3rd place. Coming out of turn 4. He's going to be your 3rd place finisher. Field filler is going to be eliminated from the playoffs with that finish tonight. Like you heard True Death say, just got caught up in some incidents at Darlington, or else I think this run would have done it for him had he had a few more points, because he gained a lot of points on KB tonight. I think Shovelhead brought it home 4th. Or maybe 5th behind. Alright, here we go. Field filler brings it home 4th. Shovelhead 5th. Pittman brings it home 6th. Racer Rick 7th. KB in 8th. King in 9th. Heck Ross 10th. That's your top 10. So we're going to get these guys in the booth. Give them a little interview. Let's see here. Got to get Favre. Showtime Favre. He changed his name on me. Showtime Favre. We got Typical's already in here. And then Showtime Flash. Typical crazy fast lap, 18.830. Hell of a job by him. Hope you guys enjoyed the broadcast tonight. Favre takes home the win from Martinsville. A lot of great racers in this series. Good to get them some exposure, showcase the talent that these guys have. You know, these guys were putting down insanely fast lap times all night around this quarter mile. And we're getting the top 3 to join right now. Alright, Favre, we do it a little differently. We like to do the winners first. All right. You guys get the first say. So, talk to me about your race, man. It looked like, you know, stage 1, my question would be, you know, was it the pit road entry that kind of gave Ty the advantage? And then how'd you manage stage 2 and stage 3 from the lead there? And, you know, just kind of walk me through your race and how it feels to be fighting for a championship next week.
So, appreciate you. Stage 1, I was just kind of a wait and see kind of a thing to see how far out he would be. I think I pit 3 laps after he went in, so there was like a 2-second gap or a 2.5-second gap, can't remember what it was. And I was out front, and he ended up pulling 2 seconds on me, and I just got caught behind some traffic and was never able to catch back up to him. Gained maybe a couple of tenths at the end, but it wasn't anything special. So I told myself through stage 2 and 3 that I was going to be pitting one lap. I was just keeping an eye on him when we got in our pit window to see when he went in. And whenever he went in, I made sure to go in the lap after. And it happened twice this race to where I came out of pits and him and I went into turn 3 side by side. So really, really difficult race. Sweating a lot. But stage 3, I decided to take a chance. I had like a 3.3 second lead over typical, and I decided to stay out 2 extra laps because once I hit like lap 25, my car is on ice. I mean, if I mess up one little thing, I'm either Earnhardting the wall or I'm going towards the inside wall. So I was just trying to get a tire advantage, and I thought that I was going to be behind him coming out of pits. And like I was saying earlier, him and I went into turn 3 side by side when I came out. So I had the tire advantage. I tightened my car up for that third stage, especially for that last run. I think I went down on the right rear tire pressure about half a round and went up on the wedge 2 clicks, and I think that definitely helped. The short run speed definitely is what got me the race, because even though Ty, started pulling on me at the end of the runs, I was able to, keep the lead. So very nerve-wracking race, especially there in the last 20 laps. I actually took my headset off to just concentrate. So, I want to say a huge congrats to Typical. The last 2 seasons, him and I have been going at it here, and I've gotten a pretty decent lead on him the last 2 races. And now this race, I mean, he really stepped his game up and made me really work for it. So congratulations to him on making the Final 4. Flash 9, he never has really ran great at Martinsville, so to see him get a top 3 here is amazing. So congrats to him on the podium tonight, and also congrats to him on making the championship 4. It's going to be a very, very, very difficult race next week. Probably one of the toughest that I've had to deal with so far. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to it, but also congrats to KB Showtime. He's not in here yet, I don't think, but, his first shot at the Final 4, so he's really improved this season. Glad to have him on my team. And Hollywood, just quick, I want to thank you for showing up tonight and broadcasting for us. You really did us a solid.
Yeah, no problem, man. This is a pretty big race for you guys. So, I wanted to make sure it was broadcasted and give you guys some eyeballs on this. You guys have been working at this for a long time, 35 races in. that's a lot of time to be putting into something. So, what's your outlook going into Phoenix? What do you think you got for these guys? You got your car ready? You still doing some work on it?
I got to work on it. I'm going to be working on it all week. If worse comes to worse, I just Carson Hocevar all of them. So that's my no. I'm gonna give them the best run that I can and try and make it back-to-back championships. But it's going to be very, very, very difficult. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm also not looking forward to it because of the stress. But yeah, I mean, I'm ecstatic to be. This is, I think, my. Flash, how many years have you been in the league?
5.
So this is this. I think this is my 5th Final 4, and this would be your 6th Final 4. Yeah. So 5 straight Final 4s since I've started in FRR. So it's definitely an honor to even make the Final 4 and to race against these guys. So it's going to be a battle, and we'll see who comes out on top.
All right, Favre. Well, congratulations on your win tonight. Definitely looking forward to that next week and seeing if you can go back to back with number 4 Ford Mustang. We're going to move on to typical. Brought it home second tonight. Ty, I think you just got caught behind Favre, to be honest. It seemed like you guys, Favre might have had a little bit better car than you on the short run, but, it was just the track position. I feel like the last 2 stages, once he got in front of you, he was making up a little bit of time. What was your strategy to try and get back in front of him, through stage 2 and stage 3? And then talk about being in the championship for, True Death was coming in here saying this is basically your rookie season. So talk about how that feels and what it means to you to make the Final Four next week.
Okay. Well, to begin stage 1, I was able to start in the pole. Favre got out in front of me, and I was able to short pit him and get a really good pit stop with a 15-0, and Picker did an amazing job for once in their life, and I was able to win that stage by about a second because he ran me back down a little bit. The second stage, I realized my car wasn't going to be good enough on the short run, or the long run, sorry, compared to him. He's able to have a really good car in the short run and still be really fast in the long run. It's just hard to counter that with somebody like that. I was lost on what I could do. So finally, that third stage, I just timed it up as much as I could to try to get him on long run, and he got out to a 3-second lead on me, and I short pitted him twice. I took 30 laps of fuel the first pit stop to get quick lap times for short run, and then I was going to try to make him run really, really, really long on that last pit stop, which I did. It kind of worked. Instead of him just pulling away 3 seconds, I was able to keep him about 5/10 to a second lead. So I know I was a lot closer than he expected to be. I was trying to make him nervous and stay as close as I can, but with him, it's just never going to happen. So, yeah, just came up short. You could see how good my car was. Shout out to the Holly Garage, and if I was just really good there, it's hard to beat him. So, moving on to the championship next week. I'm excited. My rookie year this season. I was really close to getting eliminated, missing the first 2 playoff races, so I was able to come back from that and come out here tonight and finish off the job of what I curated coming into the 3rd race of the playoffs. And yeah, it's going to be difficult next week to beat out Flash and Favre and KB. They're all going to be up there having really good cars. It's just going to matter who has the track position and who gets to clean this race.
See you against Showtime next week, buddy. You got to bring it. Those 3 are going to be helping each other out, I'm sure of it. But racing for a championship at the same time. But yeah, you guys had a hell of a finish last week. Backed it up with a hell of a battle here at Martinsville. There's a lot, there wasn't a ton of battling and stuff between you and Favre, but on track, I mean, you guys are working your asses off to run those times. So, to the casual fan, they might not see all the work and everything that you guys put in and how you guys have to run that track to run those times. But it was a lot of fun to watch, and congratulations on the 2nd place finish tonight. Moving on to Flash, buddy. Like Ty was saying, it's hard to beat Favre, and Typical had a really good car tonight too. What do you think your car was lacking to be able to compete with those 2? And then, take us through your race and how it feels to be a part of the Final Four, along with the other 3 drivers.
Yeah, I appreciate you stepping up. Like what Favre said, that means a lot to us. And any handling past lap 15, I was lacking everything. Car fired off awesome, and thought I was gonna have something figured out in stage 2. I was able to get a run on Typical, and then 2 laps after I passed him, the car just went to crap real fast. So I had to let him back by. So that was about the last time I saw them, and actually finished on the lead lap, so that was a plus. So just here in road courses, just I just really haven't figured out if there's like a wheel setting I can make to make it feel the way I need to. But I'm happy with third. Coming into the season, I figured, I expect myself to make the final 4, but then knowing how good Favre and Typical were, not that anyone's a lock, but I figured that they would be a part of it too, and really happy for KB. He's one of my best friends, and he's really worked hard all season, attendance-wise, to be able to make it, and then he had the finishes and a couple wins to make it too. So it's a big accomplishment there, and yeah, like what Favre said, car's not finished. We'll put in time together, I'm sure, throughout the week, but we're keeping some things close to our chest too, because we all want to win. So definitely we won't be showing up with the same car, that's for sure, but it's going to be a great race, probably the best championship battle FRR's ever going to have. We've had some good ones in the past, but the way Phoenix is, I think it's going to be a lot like our Richmond race with this car, which we're about bumper to bumper for 200 laps, so it's going to be pretty stressful. And then lastly, I just want to say I appreciate all the other guys who continue to race with us, even though they don't have a whole lot to race for at this point, because other than the few guys who showed up tonight, it'd just be the 4 of us going around in a circle, and no one wants to watch that. So I appreciate everyone in the league, and appreciate Ruthless Racing for helping us out with broadcasts, and yeah, looking forward to next week.
All right, buddy. Well said. Congratulations again, making it to the Final Four. I'm looking forward to next week. Maybe we do a little partnership next week as well, and get this thing out there in front of some eyeballs, and get the battle in front of some fans. So that was Flash 9, the 3rd place finisher. I think we got KB up here, right?
Copy that.
What's up, buddy? Just go ahead and talk about what being in the Final Four. Wasn't the greatest night tonight for you on the track, but talk about the work you put in to get here, and what you got next week at Phoenix.
Yeah, I'll take it from here. Let's go! Oh my gosh, dude.
3 out of 4. Can't blame you for being excited.
Yeah. Oh, I am excited, man. When we started these playoffs, my goal was to make it to the top 6, and anything past that, I felt was just a bonus. And made it to the top 6, achieved that goal, and then set my sights on possibly being in the top 4, the Final 4. And here we are. I was pylon watching the whole race. Knew I wasn't very good at this track going into it. Didn't get a whole lot of practice time this week. Just really pylon watching, man. I knew I had an 18-point lead, but I wasn't sure that was going to be enough. I knew Field Filler could beat me by 6 points every single stage, and could put me in jeopardy of not making the Final Four. So just put my head down, try not to make any mistakes. Did the best I could every stage. I think I ended up 9th the first stage, and that was 5 spots different than him. Finished 8th the next stage, and that was another 5 points difference. He ended up finishing 3rd. And then final stage, war of attrition. A couple guys fell out, and at that point I was pretty much locked in an 8th spot. By the lap, people getting lapped and everything, I was pretty much on my own. Me and Rick were the only guys 4 and 5 laps down at the end. So just really tried to hang on, and you know, hats off to Field Filler too. I know he puts in a lot of work with this stuff, and he's an excellent competitor and true as well, and that goes for all the guys in FRR. Bunch of good dudes. I really appreciate being here. It's my third season. Truly the first one that I've really been able to just totally commit to. Yeah, it was good, man. I can't thank Showtime Speed Shop enough. And happy to be in the Final Four, man. I appreciate you stepping up and stepping in like everybody else said. I'll echo that to broadcast this thing, and looking forward to Phoenix. We'll put some work in this week on the car and try to get as best we can, and see if one of the underdogs can't come through, you know.
Hell yeah. Well, congratulations one more time, KB Showtime, Showtime Favre, Showtime Flash, and typical RRS are going to be your Final Four at Phoenix next week. I also want to shout out Field Filler and Shovelhead. They had good cars tonight, good runs. Like you were saying about the points with Field, he did make up 10 on the stages, and it was getting a little dicey there, but I think he would have had to win to lock up that stop. Difference. So yeah, but still a hell of a run from him. Top 3, man. You guys are the only cars on the lead lap. I don't know if that got mentioned, but that's kind of crazy as well. But yeah, man, that's all I got. Anybody else got anything? Any shout outs from the 4 of you?
Yeah, I got one more. Congrats to lifelong, well, I wouldn't say lifelong, but congrats to a good friend on the win, Favre. Congrats, brother. Congrats to Typical, and congrats to Matt, Flash as well. So look forward to racing against you guys. It's an honor to be mentioned in the same sentence as you three, so look forward to it.
Appreciate you, KB.
Anybody else got anything? All right, I'm gonna wrap it up for Ruthless Racing. This was the FRR Cup Series at Martinsville. Favre took home the win tonight. Typical finished second, and Flash got home in third. Those 3 are going to be racing for the championship next week at Phoenix, along with KB Showtime. Thank you to everybody that tuned in. Thank you to all our sponsors, and I think we'll see you again next week. So keep an eye out for that one. Thank you, guys.